My name is Caroline Newell, and three personal characteristics that I identify with are my ability to collaborate and communicate, my problem solving skills, and my desire to use my creativity and planning skills to help others. One community in the world that matters to me is the LGBTQ plus community. People should not be feared or oppressed simply because they love differently than what has been considered the norm. I am a part of this community, as well as almost all of the friends that I've made here at Drew and elsewhere. Right now, legislators are actively making it simply impossible for trans youth to gain access to hormone blockers and surgery in a large number of states. It's incredibly important to allow children to have access to these hormones and procedures. I saw an article talking about how since Arkansas passed its most recent bill, there's been a drastic increase in teen suicide attempts there. This is a really important issue that's affecting the lives of youth, teens, and adults who simply just want to live. Three matching paths I've identified for my exploration are a women and gender studies minor or major, a potential political science minor, and a theater arts major, later on pursuing theater as a career in some way. Being involved and educated in both women and gender studies and political science allows me to stay updated and involved with issues that are really important to me, like issues involving the LGBTQ plus community, racism, and sexism. Participating in theater, on the other hand, is something that I've loved for my entire life, as it's a really important creative outlet for me. I've used it for self-expression for pretty much my entire life, participating as both an actor and a dancer since I was around 6 years old, and more recently a director and choreographer. It's an activity that I really enjoy, and it's something that I really love to do. I really love the rush and the thrill of performing, as well as all of the build-up up to that moment. In addition to simply being something that I enjoy, theater can be used as a really successful form of commentary as well, forcing the audience to think and discuss about things that they might not talk about otherwise. All throughout history, people have been using theater to push boundaries in terms of gender, sexuality, race, class. Theater has been used as a social commentary tool since its creation, which is something that I'm just now really beginning to understand and realize the potential of as I study theater here. And I'm really hoping that in some way I'll be able to use theater in such a way. One meaningful thing that I've learned from my mentor, Amanda Jordan, is that having a positive attitude and mindset will work wonders. Having such a mindset is something that she's indirectly taught me how to do. She's my dance teacher, so together we're always working through so many moves that are both frustrating and really difficult, but she would always greet me wherever I was, skill-wise, flexibility-wise, with a smile on her face. Because of her, I didn't really feel pressured to overextend myself and to feel bad that I wasn't nearly as flexible as the other kids. She also, kind of ironically, introduced the idea of being flexible, of being able to listen to others and get feedback. She would constantly be asking for help with the dances, asking for moves if she would forget one, or if something wasn't working right. Working with kids over the summer for my job, and as well as just living in this crazy COVID-ridden world, has really taught me that being flexible and responsive are equally as important as having a plan in place. Three important expectations of my path that I would benefit from preparing are communication skills, as you always need to be able to communicate your ideas, especially in a theatrical setting. Problem-solving skills, as you run into thousands of little problems while performing, directing, managing, teaching, etc. And adaptability, as you should always be able to adapt to what's happening, aka improvising. An experience that I'm planning on pursuing is becoming an assistant stage manager at a show at Drew this upcoming fall. This will be my first ever college-level show with a true theater department, which is really exciting. This will also help improve my abilities at being a stage manager, being off stage rather than on stage, which will help me not only become a better actor in the long run, but a better leader and a better director. I plan on connecting with Sarah Lucy, who is my art of the play teacher this semester and my theater history professor for next semester. She is really knowledgeable about the theater department here, as she's worked here for the past few years, and she's also really knowledgeable about the theater world in general, as she is a theater history professor. I think that connecting with her and talking with her will better me on my path on pursuing theater. I also plan on participating in DUDS, the Drew University Dramatic Society, throughout my 4 years here. This will help me gain a more advanced and realistic understanding of the reality of working in theater. This will also help me gain an understanding of how the productions are actually produced, which is something that I have absolutely no knowledge about, but I'm actually really curious to learn about. And finally, for education, I plan on finishing my education at Drew University, graduating in 2024 with a degree in theater arts. I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything afterwards or where I'll go after, but this at least will help prepare me for my path by making sure that I have a really good understanding and basis of the theater world and how it works in a more professional sense, as well as just having a basic understanding of everything in general. This is really important to me because up until now I've only ever really been in high school or small community productions, and working here at Drew and graduating here will help gain some real world experience. Thank you.